So recently, I got a comment from a subscriber. I can't remember what video it was on exactly. I think it was my uh, plum rafting pattern build, um, and they're asking if that rafter was a national. Um, and it got me thinking that talking about some nationals and kind of showing my national collection might be a good topic for a video. So here is my national collection. I'm a fan of them. One of the interesting things about the pattern is it's unique to Plum. I don't think there's any other makers that ever carried that pattern or made that pattern, and it's in my mind it's kind of a hybrid between two other patterns, two other American patterns, which in my mind it would be almost like a hybrid between the Hudson Bay and the rafting pattern. So here I've got a Snow and Neely, LL Bean, Hudson Bay, and one of the unique characteristics about that is the really pronounced beard, which if you take a look at this, this national pattern, they both have that, really pronounced beard. One of the similarities that it has with the rafting pattern are the chamfered poles, the corners of the poles. There we go. So you can see here, this is actually a Plum paper label, and it's got the waffle pattern on the pole, which is definitely less common. Kind of a cool one on the original handle too. You can see it's still got the permabond in the eye there. Enough about the rafting pattern. So the national pattern, the characteristics that you can kind of help use to identify it is the longer beard. One, they're usually stamped Plum. This one's Plum Victory, so it was made during the World War II era. I think I talked about it in my Plum. It was the Connecticut pattern Victory build. That it's my understanding that the Victory stamp was used during wartime efforts, and they used a little bit rougher fit and finish so they could dedicate more time and resources into the war effort. And if you compare essentially the same exact axe, one's Victory timeline stamp, the other one's not, you can see that pretty much lines up with that story. The grinding and forging on that Victory head are not nearly as nice as this just standard one. So it's kind of cool, kind of neat. A little bit of history along with the stamps. Give you some nice up close shots of it. So I think this has been the original handle, but it's been reseated at some point. I didn't do this one. You can see I'm not a fan of the metal step wedges, but this one does not have any stamping on the handle, but it is that signature kind of plum red. And this one here, both of these nationals I actually found local at one of my flea markets, so definitely good finds on them. You can see those chamfers. I really like the chamfers on these. I just think it looks really cool. I believe a number of them have hardened poles too. I'm not exactly sure if all of them did. I don't think so. You can see from this this smaller one that definitely took some abuse. This one here is actually a Boy Scout hatchet. You can see it's got the Be Prepared logo. It's pretty neat. Original handle on this one too. You can see it says the official Scout axe. That's pretty neat. So this one here, you can see this one's also on the original handle. Again, that kind of plum red. This one I did reseat myself back when I got it because the handle was pretty much falling out. You can see the grain orientation in this one is just about as terrible as you could get. And in doing that, I chipped the back off of the shoulder there. It's still enough to reseat it, but unfortunately it did break. But you can see some of the stamping on this handle. So it says, tested Plum USA. See some of that original black paint on there. You can kind of see some of the paint scheme on this, not too much. It's more of the temper line. On this one here, you can see the paint scheme much more. I believe the original paint scheme was that it run up here and had a round, kind of like a round portion to it, and then came back. So, kind of a neat paint job on the heads. You don't really see that too much on the Plum. So, this one's definitely got some of the more of the original paint. But one of the interesting things about the national pattern, like I said, is that similar, some Michigans and Dayton patterns, they scaled it, the manufacturer scaled them up and down to kind of meet hatchet size needs, to like larger house axe size needs or larger hatchets, up to boy's axe here. So this one here is a boy's axe. It's also got the Permabond in the other, if you can see, hopefully. Maybe. Stamp 667. So if you look it up in the old catalogs, that's their numeric for their boy's axe. The interesting thing about this one is it's not stamped on the traditional, presentation side. It's stamped on the opposite side. I don't know if there's a correlation between the side that it's stamped on and whether the pull is hardened. I thought I remembered reading that somewhere. I can't really verify it because there is some damage on this pull, but I don't know what the previous owner was really beating with it. It could have been rocks or something. So, but yeah, got them in boy's axe sizes. So I've got 2 of those here. This one's on the original handle, so I didn't really ever intend on using that one. This is kind of my user boy's axe. I do need to put a better edge on this and sharpen it up. The handle's all right. It's a console tool boy's axe replacement handle. Grain orientation on it's really nice. Runout's really minimal. So. And this one's in a little better condition. This is one I hung years ago, long before I started making videos. So, and they also had them, or Plum also made them in larger sizes too. So this one here is a 3.5 pound, or was 3.5 pounds, stamped 3.2. And this is one of the patent applied for. You see those patent applied for stamps really common on the larger national heads. This one's definitely worse for the wear. When I bought this one off of eBay, I thought it was in a little bit better condition than it was. The pictures were really kind of terrible. I kind of rolled the dice on it because it was a good price. And when I got it, whoever, I don't know if it's the seller or how they found it, but they had taken an angle grinder and kind of, cleaned it up, and they had left marks all over it, and really kind of screwed up those bevels towards the pull. I took the file to it and some of the sandpaper and stuff like that and tried to start restoring some of them, and kind of got sidetracked with other projects because this one was taking a while. So I don't know if I'll ever hang on to this one. I'd probably like to get one that's a little bit better example and more original condition, and sell this one along or pass it along to someone who wants to a good wedge banger or something like that. Yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting video to kind of talk about the national pattern. It's one of my favorites. When I modified my Tommy Axe, I modeled it after the national pattern, right? I liked the look of the national pattern, so I chamfered the poles on it, kind of gave it a similar look. So I was such a big fan of it, so yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this kind of explains some of the national pattern a little bit more. I'd like to do some more history or research on the history of it. I don't know exactly when it came about. When the first appearance of the national pattern happened. Obviously, it was before, prior to World War II, because we've got the victory stamps on it. But I'm not sure how much prior to World War II. So, if you know, drop a comment down below. Let me know. Educate me on it. I appreciate it. And thanks for watching.